Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Diecast Resurrection. Today we are working on this first generation Bronco. A few days ago, a couple of you guys and myself were on a live stream. Spent a little bit of time making some attachments for this thing to make it a little bit more cool. It's pretty good in its own right, but I would like to customize it a little bit further, I think, just to really help it out. So that's what we're going to be working on today anyways. It's a little bit late in the day for me to be starting a video. We've got a lot of work to do here, so we're going to just get started. I do plan on doing a little bit of custom paint on the Bronco as well to really help tie things together. So yeah, we're gonna dive right into it. Lots to do. Right now all the 3D printed pieces are just chilling outside in the sun baking since it's a nice day. I want a convertible. You're not gonna let me have it without a fight, are ye? That's fine. So I took the liberty of stripping down the old Bronco here, getting it ready. All the parts laid out. This is everything we made on the live stream. Some things I modified a little bit. Made a roof rack with a light bar in the front. Everything's a little bit dusty at the moment. We made a Jimmy brand winch bumper and winch. Beautiful. Made a pretty basic rear bumper, just like a little plate bumper. It's got a little hitch receiver that we could hollow out in the future if we need it. Pretty standard. Made a couple little gas cans. They're a little bit out of scale. I wasn't really paying attention when I was making sure all the parts that were actually mounting on the car had to be to scale, obviously, for the vehicle. These are a little bit too big, but I mean they're still cool. Anyways, they printed out really nice too, so I think we were going to use one for fuel, one for water, so we can paint those up. We got a Snorkel kit. It's a little adapter box that we're going to have to just modify so it fits the fender nicely, and then we can just tie this in. We'll have ourselves a nice little snorkel. Very cool. And then this is the pride and joy of the whole experience. Check this out. Someone wanted a nice cooler to keep the beers cold. So I designed a little Yeti. And it actually printed out really cool, so that's going to look like $1,000,000 once she's painted. I'm going to get rid of this. Got one support hanging out in there I got to remove, but very cool. We're going to put all of that on here, but first we're going to custom paint this to make it a little bit more cool. Anyways, lots to do, so we're going to strip the paint off of this first and get going. Before I do any paint, we always Scotch-Brite. Really helps get that body nice and smooth. A little bit of paint left in here. I already loosened it up at the pick. I'm going to get rid of it on the final rinse. I think we're going to put a blue candy on top of this, and we're going to see what kind of effect we have. So I'm going to let this dry for a little while, and I'm going to come back and we're going to shoot some blue candy on top of here, and we're going to see what we're going to come up with, I guess. This is called Carib Blue or Caribbean Blue. I've been calling this Carbide Blue by mistake. I didn't actually read the label until one of you guys pointed it out. Put a nice healthy dose of that. A bit of balancing clear and a splash of reducer. This should be interesting. See how this goes here. Now I gotta try to blend in that door with all this overspray so that we don't have a permanent darkness area. If I just painted it like I normally would, you'd see that all the way through because it's just going to be darker and darker and darker. So I gotta try to blend it now if I can. I'm going to give our car a quick little clear coat now just to protect it from, from us working on it and whatnot. Okay, so our body is looking pretty legit, I would say. High five, that's looking good. We're not done with that yet, though. We got some stuff to do on there. I do want to start getting some of these accessories ready to go. Okay, so even though I want to save these bumpers, I am going to use what they have for mounting. So I'll just snip off the factory bumper, and I'm going to put my winch bumper on their factory mount. And then it'll just connect right in there, and there's no gluing or anything crazy like that. I think that's going to be the best method. And then I can save this little bumper for something else. Same with the rear. It's got a nice little mount on it. So we'll snip that off, and then we will put our little plate bumper on. Try to flatten that out nicely. That's what we want to see. Get that fitting on there nice and flush. Looks like we can pretty well just line it up straight, so that will work. Beauty. It's a little bit tough to get it straight just because the plastic piece that's in there kind of just hovers, right? It's sandwiched between the base and the body, so it's got a little bit of wiggle room, but that's pretty good. I like it. Okay, there's our back bumper installed. Ready for paint. So far so good. I want to just double check that the winch is still going to fit in here. I'm sure it is. The old Jimmy Edition winch. Beautiful. I still need to fit this to the removable top, and we got to fit our snorkel. So it's going to require a little bit of body work. Stuff's all dusty because I was filing all the little supports off camera. But we're going to have to cut into this little block, and we're going to have to fit it to the side of the fender here for the intake. That's why I wanted to clear coat this up right away. So since we're going to be handling it, so I want to fit this block right on the side here. So I got to cut away the back of this with the Dremel. But first, I'm going to need a dust mask. Let's see if I can do this without cutting off my hand. That'd be nice. Probably going to just do this off camera, just for safety purposes, but I'm going to hollow this out. So I've got this hollowed out pretty well. So it sits on the fender nicely. And I just trimmed this. So I'm just working on getting the right length of our little snorkel here so I can put these two pieces together and make them one. So I think I need to snip off a little bit more. So maybe I'll put a little dab of glue on there just to kind of test fit everything. A little dab of accelerator on there. I'll give that a second to dry. I'm going to have to do a little bit of cleanup on this. Probably even some underneath here again, so it might not fit perfect, but it should be pretty cool once it's in there in its final spot. So, sir, how long has this tooth been bothering you? Alright, that's as much as I am comfortable doing. If I do any more, I think we're going to run into problems, but that's hollowed out pretty good. Okay, update time. I've got all our little components painted gloss black. Just waiting to do some installations. I gave our grill a little bit of a wash, dark wash. I still got to do the little turn indicators. And I mounted our rack on our top. You'll notice I didn't paint it black. I was looking at pictures of Broncos with black tops, and I didn't like them. They just didn't look like Broncos anymore. They look like Jeeps, kind of. So I left it the original kind of cream color. Mounted our rack. I just got to get these lights going in the front, but that's drying. And that leaves me with the interior. We're going to do a little bit of painting. I mixed up some brown. I wanted kind of like a leather interior, you know, that'd be in like a King Ranch, if you know what I'm saying. So we got this milk chocolate brown. I imagine a lot of this I won't be able to show just because it's so fidgety, as Marty would say. So just roughly get one coat on each, and then we will I'll probably do the rest myself. No, we got to do this. Got to have that matching shift boot. Alright, so that's basically our primer coat. I'm going to do some more details here myself once this dries. Give all these seats a second coat. Maybe see if there's anything else I could do on here. There doesn't look like there's too much, but we could do the dash. Dash would be cool. There was one Bronco I was looking at specifically. It had a leather dash, and I thought that was sweet, so I want to do the same thing with this. Pimp. Looks real good. Since I got everything set up, we might as well see if I can't do these little rollers. I built the other rollers into it as well, but they're kind of like deep in there, so I'm not even going to try get the silver in there. I think I'll just make a mess of things, so I'm going to leave them. I'm going to leave them alone. Got a little clutch handle. We got a power wire right here. I think next time I do this, I'm going to see about printing out some actual lenses. And then I can just glue them on there rather than messing around. Be nice to get those a little bit white, but I'm not sure how well white is going to go over this Molotov pen. So for now, I'm going to leave them like this. Maybe we'll start doing a little bit of an assembly here. It was kind of weird how this glass went on. Man, this thing's going to be sweet. I think it'd be really cool to do like a 1/18 scale one of these where I can just build big winch bumpers and big everything. Hell yeah. And get our little pimp leather interior back in here. Well, it's not 100% perfect, but it's pretty darn cool. Anyways. Sweet little Bronco. I like it. I'm going to have a lot of fun over the years, I think, with this 3D printer. Doing stuff like this, just making parts. So cool. Especially on the bigger cars like this, where you can get actually kind of detailed and make some things. I still got to paint our little Yeti. That'd be nice. And maybe these jugs. So that's our little Bronco anyways. I hope you guys enjoyed. I like the way this turns out. It almost looks like a little Land Rover. And that's kind of the idea, I suppose. Almost looks like there's a little interference here between the... Might have to take it apart and tweak that bumper a little bit, but you guys get the idea. Pretty cool little ride. Anyways, guys, I gotta go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. The more thumbs up I get on these 3D printing videos, the more I will do them. I know you guys like seeing parts come out of my brain, so... Okay, I'm gonna go this time for real. See you next time, guys.